Here in Britain, the brutally cold weather system dubbed the Beast from the East is upon us, bringing us some of the coldest weather conditions in 30 years. As you can see. But that begs the question, should we ride out on our bikes? Well, I have today and just wondered the best ways to keep warm. In fact, we ask you that very question. So here are your tips, your hacks and your advice on how to keep warm when the weather simply isn't. Firstly, thanks very much for getting in contact. We've been pretty overwhelmed with the sheer number of you who've got in touch to give us your winter tips. Many of you quite wisely suggested we either stay at home and jump on the turbo trainer or go on Zwift, or get a roaring fire and a hot drink and stick our feet up. Now, as wise as that bit of advice is, these tips are for those of you brave enough to venture out into the deep cold. First up is this from Chicken Legs 63. Now, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. It is this one. Get yourself a bit of newspaper to protect yourself from the cold, especially the wind, either early in a ride or if you're at the top of a climb and just about to descend down the other side. So, get your newspaper. A little bit of a tip, rather than actually sticking up your jersey like this, is to actually scrunch it up slightly. Then unravel it, and you'll find it sticks to the skin and moulds itself to your body far better. So, like so. Old school protection against the chill wind. And when you do dispose of it, make sure you put it in your pocket or in the bin. Now, next up is this little nugget from iPalindrome. Get yourself a couple of these little handy hand warmers, put them in the pocket that's nearest to the small of your back, and the close proximity to your spinal fluid and major arteries will help circulate that warmth, keeping your core and your back warm as well as your head. Right, next up we have this from Matt the First. Cycling shoes. At the bottom of your cycling shoes, you have those little air vents. Now, to protect yourself, the bottom of your feet, from that cold, icy air, and remember, even if you're wearing overshoes, generally the cleat is exposed, so those bits will be exposed as well. Simply get yourself a bit of electrical tape and seal up those little holes, thus keeping the soles of your feet toasty and warm. Next up is this from Vice Grip. Mike Heels, he's suggesting you repurpose an old sock. I've got one in mine here, quite a natty stripy number. Cut a hole in the bottom for the cleat, okay? So a little neat hole there. Then once your shoe's on, with your other sock underneath, simply place this over the top, like so. Needn't be rushed, get it all nice and neat so it's not rocked up. Over the top, cleats nice and unobstructed, and then the over booty over the top of that. Now that is toasty and warm, and actually quite stylish too. Well, next up is this from G-Wood Acklake. It's actually a double suggestion, the first of which is simply get some hand warmer pads, stick them, oh, they are nice and toasty already, stick them inside your gloves, and away you go. 5 or 6 hours of warm hands. And as a backup, get spare gloves, just in case they get a bit damp, put them inside your bibs, keeping the gloves nice and toasty, and also your nipples too. Now, all the way from Canada, which, as we know, can get very, very cold indeed, are these two tips from Dylan Petrie. Now, firstly, he's suggesting that the second bidon on your bike should be one like this, a thermal styled one, so you can fill it with a hot drink of your choice to keep you warm on the first part of your ride. And secondly, which is another great but simple tip, is to put your base layers, your shoes and your gloves on the radiators to get nice and warm before you venture out into the Arctic cold. Going rather old school again is this little tip from Shodra. who simply said, wear a balaclava. So we've got one. Just don't, whatever you do, ride too near any banks. Double up, says Seb76402, by wearing a very thin pair of gloves, like silk style gloves, underneath your normal winter gloves, just trapping that extra layer of warm air without restricting the blood flow. Cracking idea. Toasty. Eat and wear? Check this from Clarko Polo. Remember this bag of crisps? Well, they've already provided you with some fuel, and next up, they're going to keep you warm. Nice and thin, like a ready-made tinfoil toast bag for your toes. Whoa, I'm absolutely freezing. So before I get back in the car and put the heater on full blast, I just want to thank all of you who took the time for getting in contact with us. There were absolutely cracking tips, and I must admit, I've taken a few on board and I am a little bit warmer than I was before. Now, for some more winter riding tips, how about clicking just down here for our 7 mistakes for riding in the winter. And don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to GCN. It's absolutely free, and you can do that by clicking on one of those icicles probably. It's freezing.